Today we're going to do a rewind. Welcome to Comic Power. I am your host, Comic Killer 72. Today we're celebrating the 1-year anniversary of the Speculation Pick of the Week. The YouTube channel itself is about 16 months old, but I've only been doing the Spec Pick of the Week for about 1 year. The first one was announced on April 27th, 2016. So in honor of its 1-year anniversary, we're going to do a recap on every single Speculation Pick of the Week from the previous year. Plus I'll mention the runner-up, so I have 102 books to talk about. Just remember, I'm picking these in advance before these books even came out. It's easy to say in hindsight what was a hit and what wasn't, but picking in advance, nobody's 100%. They would have retired early with $10 million in the bank already. But in saying that, I got it right more often than I got it wrong. Some weeks are absolutely loaded, like August 3rd, 2016, there are probably 4 books I could name for the Spec Pick, but I could only pick one. Some weeks were pretty lousy, like March 29th, 2017. I was really struggling to find one. I've done a Wicked Wednesday new comic report every week except for December 28th when I took a Christmas vacation, but I still delivered the top 10 comics of 2016 report. Now, without further ado, here is the 1-year recap on the Speculation Pick of the Week. Enjoy. April 27th, 2016. 4 Kids Walk Into a Bank #1 from Black Mass Studios. This is a crime caper about 4 middle school kids with a subplot that has an expose on geek culture. The runner-up was Micronauts #1 from IDW Comics. May the 4th, 2016. Ronaldo Jones, the 1% #1 from Image Comics. This is the story of a man that decides to become a vigilante to take out the 1% who's exploiting the lower classes. Think of him as the Punisher for elitists. Ironically, the runner-up was the Punisher #1 from Marvel Comics. May the 11th, 2016. The Fix #2 from Image Comics, and this is absolutely hilarious. It's the story of 2 corrupt cops working in Los Angeles. It's a black comedy and an indictment on the sleazy world of Hollywood excess. The runner-up was Darth Vader #20 from Marvel Comics. May 18th, 2016. Tank Girl, 2 Girls, 1 Tank #1 from Titan Comics. At the end of the day, Tank Girl is a spoof of dystopian futures, especially Mad Max. The runner-up was May #1 from Dark Horse Comics, about a woman that's fighting monsters in the fantasy land and she comes back to Earth and they follow her here. It was underrated, find it in a dollar bin. May 25th, 2016. Divinity 2 #2 from Valiant Comics. This is the story of a black Russian cosmonaut that comes back to Earth with powers after many years in space. One of his shipmates returns from space, also superpowered, and they get into a big fight. As great as Divinity is, the runner-up was DC Universe Rebirth #1, which should have been the Spec Pick of the Week for that week. This Rebirth one-shot made my top 10 list of 2016. June 1st, 2016. Batman Rebirth #1, and this is a one-shot that sets up the new Batman universe. This is one of those no-brainer picks. The runner-up was Control #1 from Dynamite Comics, a hugely underrated tale of a female detective in Washington, D.C. that blows the lid on a criminal conspiracy. June 8th, 2016. The Fix #3 from Image Comics. Seriously, this title is incredible. Roy, the crooked cop, is hired for private security for a Hollywood actress who turns out to be an entitled, narcissistic, drug-addicted brat. The runner-up was more cheerful. It's Lumberjanes Gotham Academy #1, a crossover between DC and Boom Studio characters. June 15th, 2016. Batman #1, and this is only the 3rd time in his continuity he's been rebooted back to #1 in 1940, 2011, and now 2016. Another no-brainer pick, cause it's Batman. The runner-up was Han Solo #1, which is written by Marjorie Liu. Women don't get enough opportunity to write male lead characters, especially ones this high profile. It's a step in the right direction. June 22nd, 2016. Wonder Woman #1, and is written by Greg Rucka, and he is absolutely killing this story of the Amazon princess. This is one of the reasons that DC start outselling Marvel again. The runner-up was The Flash #1, and the new artist is Carmine Di Giandomenico. Try to say that 5 times in a row fast. This Flash Rebirth looks great and it reads great. June 29th, 2016. X-Men #11, and it was all about the cover. You got the old man Logan attacking Jean Grey. That sounds good and all, but the runner-up should have been the Spec Pick of the Week, and that's Bloodshot Reborn #14. We get the first appearance of Deathmate plus some Bloodshot early prototypes, and this sets up Bloodshot USA. It's a huge key issue, and it made my top 10 comics of 2016. July 6, 2016. Justice League Rebirth #1. Unite the 7, or should I say 8, because I got 2 Green Lanterns here. This Rebirth stuff is so good. The runner-up was 4001 AD Shadow Man #1. This is a spin spinoff from the 4001 Ride crossover, July 13th, 2016. Conan the Slayer #1 from Titan Comics. Cullen Bunn is writing, and newcomer Sergio Davala is killing it with the art. The runner-up was Horizon #1 from Image Comics, which is underrated. It's a story of a female warrior on an alien planet that must defend her planet against human invaders. July 20th, 2016. Faith #1 from Valiant Comics, and this is the ongoing series. How many female characters in comics are heavy set, and how many have their own title? Just one, Faith. The runner-up was Betty and Veronica #1 from Archie Comics, which was written and drawn by Adam Hughes. It was easily my favorite cover of 2016. July 27th, 2016. Rom #1 from IDW Comics. They can't use the Space Knight theme because that belongs to Marvel. Hasbro wants to do more movies with their action figures beyond G.I. Joe and the Transformers, so they're testing the water with comics. The runner-up was Harley Quinn and the Suicide Special Edition #1. August 3rd, 2016. This was the hardest week to pick from ever, but I gave it to Lady Killer 2 #1 from Dark Horse Comics. The story of Josie Schuler, the female hitman, or should I say hit woman. It was so hard to pick this week because we also had Kill or Be Killed #1 made its debut, Harley Quinn Rebirth #1 made its debut, The Walking Dead 157 started the Whisperer War. And another overlooked goodie was Blood and Dust #1 from Action Lab Danger Zone about a retired vampire killer that has to come out of retirement. August 10th, 2016. All-Star Batman #1. This is Scott Snyder returning to this character after his incredible run on the new 52 version. The runner-up was Black Monday Murders, a new conspiracy thriller from Jonathan Hickman. He's real good at the long story arc type of thing. Instead of writing novels like the next Tom Clancy, he's writing comic books, and we're better for it. August 17th, 2016. Briggsland #1 from Dark Horse Comics. This is the story of Grace Briggs, who takes over as the leader of a secessionist compound that wants to leave the United States after her husband goes to prison. It's in development for a TV show on AMC. The runner-up was Spawn Kills Everyone #1. In this one shot, this little mini Spawn goes to a Comic-Con and kills cosplayers dressed up like your favorite superhero. August 24th. Generation Zero #1 from Valiant Comics. This is the story of superpowered teens that are on the run and will help out other teens in trouble if you can find them. It's sort of like the New Mutants meets the A-Team. The runner-up is Deathstroke #1, and this is Christopher Priest taking over the title. That writer is famous for his run on the Black Panther in the late 90s. August 31st, 2016. Equilibrium #1 from American Mythology Productions. This is based on the early 2000s cult action film of the same name, and it starred Christian Bale before he became famous and before he became Batman. The runner-up is 4001 AD #4, the final chapter in this sci-fi miniseries, and Clayton Crane committing digital murder with his multimedia landscapes. September 7, 2016. Kill or Be Killed #2 from Image Comics. And this title is just too good not to be recognized as the pick of the week eventually. The vigilante tale is not anything new, but the way Brubaker writes it and Phillips draws it is just a thing of beauty. The runner-up is Skyborn #1 from Boom Studios. This is Frank Cho's take on the King Arthur archetype. September 14th, 2016. Lady Killer Volume 2 #2. As you can see, I'm very high on this miniseries. It's written and drawn by Joelle Jones, who's on my top 10 list of the top 10 female comic book artists in the game. The runner-up was Hadrian's Wall #1, which is a mashup of sci-fi outer space meets the detective whodunit story. September 21st, 2016. Revolution #1 from IDW Comics. This is a massive crossover in which Hasbro has taken all of their action figure properties and crossed them over into one big event. They've made movies out of G.I. Joe and the Transformers, but they're interested in making movies out of other characters like Action Man, Rom, and the Micronauts. As you can see, they did a gazillion variants for this. And this week was probably my biggest fail since I've been doing Speculation Pick of the Week, because 7 to Eternity was the runner-up, and obviously it should have been the pick of the week. The writer is Rick Remender, and he's had other great projects before, but they never blew up like this, including Low and Tokyo Ghost. Another strong contender from that week was Britannia #1 from Valiant Comics. September 28th, 2016. Exo Men of War #50. This is the final issue of the series that started in 2012, which was the first release in the whole relaunch of Valiant Comics. Exo is a badass barbarian in a high-tech suit of armor. The runner-up was Surgeon X #1 from Image Comics, an underrated dystopian drama. October 5th, 2016. Jessica Jones #1 from Marvel Comics. After the success of her Netflix show, she's getting a reboot in the comics. They're using the same writer who created her, Brian Michael Bendis, and the watercolor covers by David Mack look tremendous. The runner-up was He-Man Thundercats #1 from DC Comics, and this obviously should have been the pick of the week. I did put it on the top 20 list of 2016. This crossover killed. Both of these projects need a movie like yesterday. October 12th, 2016. Darth Vader #25, and this is the final issue, and it was very entertaining. They used Vader's popularity as a springboard and launching pad for Dr. Aphra, a new character that I describe as a female Asian Han Solo. I'll talk about her later in this video. The runner-up was Reborn #1 from Image Comics, a team-up of superstars with Mark Millar writing and Greg Capullo doing the artwork. October 19th, 2016. Die Kitty Die #1 from Chapter House Comics. This is from a creative team that used to work on Archie. It's a meta spoof about a witch whose publisher wants to kill her in real life to increase the popularity of her comic. The runner-up was Death of X #2 from Marvel Comics about the battle between the Inhumans and the X-Men. October 26, 2016. Bloodshot USA #1 from Valiant Comics. This is a spin-off from the developments in Bloodshot Island, where a contagion has been spread in the air in New York. The runner-up was The Prowler #1 from Marvel Comics. This character was the first black supervillain in comics, making his debut in 1969. He's rumored to be played by Donald Glover in the upcoming Spider-Man Homecoming movie. November 3rd, 2016. Occupy Avengers #1 from Marvel Comics. This is a Hawkeye story with him fighting on the behalf of the average people who are tired of superheroes blowing stuff up with no accountability. Unfortunately, the book itself wasn't as strong as its premise was. The runner-up and what should have been the pick of the week was Unworthy Thor #1. I had no idea this book was going to be this good. I'm not bumping any book from my top 10 list of 2016, but this should have made it. If you missed it, make sure you pick up a trade. November 9th, 2016. Invincible Iron Man #1 from Marvel Comics. This is the reboot with Riri Williams headlining the title. It's a great setup for this character to use that name recognition because Tony will come back in the near future and they'll be able to spin off Riri again with her Iron Heart #1. So older fans that want Tony will get Invincible Iron Man, and younger fans that want Riri will pick up Iron Heart. It's that simple. With the Spider-Man franchise, there's all kinds of spin-offs like Miles Morales and Silk and Spider-Gwen and now Ben Reilly, the Scarlet Spider. They're just trying to do the same thing with Iron Man. For those who are complaining about Riri Williams, chill. The runner-up was Black Panther World of Wakanda #1. This Black Panther spinoff highlights the Midnight Angels, Black Panther's most elite female warriors, and they'll play a big part in his live-action movie. November 16th, 2016. Harbinger Renegades #1 from Valiant Comics. This picks up from the fallout from Harbinger Omegas. There will be a Harbinger movie that will happen with Sony. Look out for more news during con season. The runner-up was Thanos #1. Dude, it's Thanos. What else do you need to know? November 23rd, 2016. Venom #1 from Marvel Comics. You knew nothing was going to knock this off. People love Venom. The runner-up was Chew #60, the final issue of this critically acclaimed series from Image Comics. November 30th, 2016. Ghost Rider #1 from Marvel Comics. This is the reboot that's starring Robbie Reyes. Instead of Johnny Blaze on a motorcycle, you're getting Robbie Reyes in a muscle car. But the idea is the same. There were many different variants, but this cover A is awesome. The runner-up was Savage #1 from Valiant Comics. This is their primal dinosaur fighting character to replace Turok. December 7th, 2016. Dr. Aphra #1 from Marvel Comics. This is the character I mentioned before that spun out of the Darth Vader title, and now she headlines her own. And everything that's happening here is Star Wars canon. My prediction is a live-action appearance for her in a movie in the future. Dr. Aphra #1 made my top 20 list of 2016. Aphra #1 was good, but Motor Crush #1 was even better, and it was the runner-up. If I had a time machine, I would flip them. I've been talking about Motor Crush on this channel ever since it dropped. It's great. You should try it out. December 14th, 2016. Hawkeye #1 from Marvel Comics. This is the Kate Bishop version of Hawkeye. This follows her as she sets up a detective agency in the Los Angeles area. It's written in a very fun, humorous style. It's a much lighter read than your typical comic. The runner-up was Red Sonja #0 from Dynamite Comics. This was a 25-cent introductory to get people to try it out. December 21st, 2016. Issue #1 of this miniseries was my first spec pick of the week back in April 2016, and it just continues. It's nothing but excellent. If you're late to this, find a trade. The runner-up was The Mighty Captain Marvel #0. This is a setup for her new ongoing series after Civil War II. December 28th, 2016. There was no Spec Pick of the Week for that week. I took a Christmas vacation, but I did get up the top 10 comics of 2016, which brings us to 2017, January 4th, 2017. The Walking Dead issue 162 from Image Comics. This is part 6 in the finale of the Whisperer War. The complete story arc had Arthur Adams variants which looked like this. And we're selling for cover price right next to cover A, so if I were you, I'd pick up the cover B version. The runner-up was the Wasp #1. The best looking one was the movie accurate version shown here. The Ant-Man movie sequel will be called Ant-Man and the Wasp, January 11th, 2017. Spider-Man #12. This is the Miles Morales version where he starts a romance with Spider-Gwen. They're supposed to be in different universes, but with the Spider-Verse, it'll allow you to do anything with that plot device. This variant shown here was selling for a lot of money when it first came out. With that all-black cover, it's going to be hard to find in high grades. This is another time where the runner-up should have been the pick of the week because it was God Country #1. In my humble opinion, it's the best single issue of this year and it's the best title right now. It's only intended to be a mini-series, so I'm curious to see if they will extend it. January 18th, 2017. Curse Words #1 from Image Comics. This is the story of a wizard that shows up in New York performing spells, but people don't know he's an evil wizard. The runner-up was Divinity 3, Eric, Son of the Revolution. This is a one-shot involving the story arc in which the valiant heroes became enforcers of the Soviet Empire in an alternative universe. January 25th, 2017. The Totally Awesome Hulk #15. This is a coalition of an all-Asian superhero team that Marvel has assembled, including Shang-Chi, the Master of Kung Fu. The runner-up was Loose Ends #1. This is written by Jason Latour of Southern Bastards fame. A Southern Fried crime drama miniseries. February 1st, 2017. Darth Maul #1 from Marvel Comics. This is one of the coolest characters I've seen designed in the last 20 years. The runner-up was Vampirilla #0. And Dynamite Comics was selling this for only 25 cents to get people to try it out. February 8th, 2017. The Kingpin #1 from Marvel Comics. This is written by Matthew Rosenberg, who got famous for We Can Never Go Home from Black Mass Studios. The runner-up was Unworthy Thor #4, and it's worthy of being the pick of the week almost every week. February 15th, 2017. Savage #4 from Valiant Comics. This is the conclusion of an incredible miniseries. This is for lovers of Kamandi or Turok, stuff like that. The runner-up was Super Sons #1 from DC Comics. Will this be a novelty or something long-term? We'll have to see. The surprise that week was Heathen #1 from Vault Comics, which came out, and I had no idea it was going to be this good. It definitely should have been the pick of the week. February 22nd, 2017. The Old Guard #1 from Image Comics. This is the story of Immortal Mercenaries, which has been optioned for a movie already. It's pretty good. You might want to get one while it's still affordable if you missed it. The runner-up was Elektra #1 from Marvel Comics. In this version, she's got more clothes on, and she sets up shop in Las Vegas. March 1st, 2017. America #1. This is the character based on America Chavez, one of the few Latino characters to headline their own title. I wasn't crazy about the interior artwork though, once I saw it. The runner-up was Rat Queens Volume 2 #1. This is a reboot with a brand new artist for this critically acclaimed series. From Image Comics. March 8th, 2017. Motor Crush #4, and this is one of my favorite books that comes out every month about an African-American female motorcycle racer. Told 50 years in the future. It's just a lot of fun. The runner-up is The Flash #18, and it's just very consistent every month. And I love the artwork. March 15th, 2017. God Country #3 from Image Comics, and this is just fantastic. I'll have to do a video explaining it. The runner-up was He-Man Thundercats #6 from DC Comics, and this is the finale of this very fun miniseries. And it's got me fiending for a live-action movie of these characters. March 22nd, 2017. Bloodshot Reborn #0 from Valiant Comics. This does not have all the action in the world, but it's a setup issue introducing Project Omen and Bloodshot's daughter. The runner-up is also from Valiant Comics. It's Exo Man of War #1, and this is the reboot where he's on a foreign planet that breaks out into war, so he must don the armor again. March 29th, 2017. This is probably the weakest week ever for the pick of the week, so I named X-Men Prime #1 from Marvel Comics. It's just a setup issue introducing Kitty Pryde as the new leader of the X-Men. The runner-up was Divinity 3, The Stalinverse #4. This is the finale, and it was far out crazy good. April 5th, 2017. Extremity #2 from Image Comics. This title has been very good. It's a mix of man, monsters, and machine, and a revenge tale. The runner-up is Kim Reaper #1 from Oni Press, about a girl who takes a part-time job as a Grim Reaper. April 12th, 2017. Weapon X #1 from Marvel Comics. You got Old Man Logan, Lady Deathstrike, Sabretooth, Domino, written by Greg Pak and drawn by Greg Land, so you gotta like that. The runner-up was Rose #1 from Image Comics. The storyline felt like a by the numbers formula, but I really enjoyed the art. April 19th, 2017. Redneck #1 from Image Comics, proving that I get it right more often than I get it wrong. This is from Donnie Cates, the same guy who writes God Country. And speaking of God Country, issue #4 is the runner-up, so he basically owned this whole week. It's a Donnie Cates world, we just live in it. April 26, 2017. Unfollow #18 from Vertigo DC Comics. It's the final issue of a series that's gonna be fast-tracked to become a TV show on ABC. The runner-up was Exo Man of War #2 on the reboot, and it's better than I can describe. Thank you for watching this recap of the previous speculation picks of the week. It was my longest video ever, so thank you for hanging in there. As always, don't forget to subscribe, give the thumbs up, and share these videos on social media so others can learn about the channel. Be sure to follow my blog at comicpower.net. On social media, follow me at facebook.com/comicpower.net and comicpower-universe.tumblr.com. And don't forget twitter.com/comicpowersub. I also sell comics on eBay at this link. This is Comic Killer 72 for Comic Power saying bye-bye. And don't forget to share this video, click on subscribe, give it a thumbs up, and tell everyone you know about this channel to help it grow. Thank you for your support.